here it's the same thing. I let the women come to me. I found that was better, but okay. So what I'd like to talk about today is flirting in Thailand, because for most guys that come here to retire, so older guys around 60 and all that, typical viewer on my channel and what most of my videos are about, they're keenly interested in finding a good partner to share their retirement with, whether it's a guy more like me, looking for a partner, yes, also looking for some assistance due to health and such. Some guys are just lonely. A lot of guys, I think a lot of guys are just lonely. And I think a lot of guys are really focusing hard on that ideal relationship from this lovely Thai woman that will really make their retirement rich and enjoyable and passionate and fun and wonderful and all those great things. And then apparently this is the overwhelming majority, I have to say, from everybody that I've talked to, whether it's an experienced expat, and then again, most of what I share on the channel comes from my Thai friends. I think that's just a better perspective. This is their country, it's their culture. They're going to just know it better than we are. And it's just when a Thai woman marries a foreign man, more often than not, and overwhelmingly more often from everybody I've talked to, and maybe this is incorrect, but from everybody I've talked to, and it's a lot of people over quite a few years here, they've met them in a bar in a tourist location or something like that, something along those lines. Very commonly, Thai women go to work in the massage business, bar business, something in the tourist business involving nightlife and fun and such, to attract a foreign husband. When they've become ineligible to date a good eligible Thai man, we're about their only, well, we're not their only option, but they seem to perceive Western older retired men with a pension as their next best option. And then, or at least most of them do, and then there they go, and they find a husband that way. And a lot of them have great success. They work down there for a couple of years, and then they can find a guy that they can turn into some husband material for them, whatever that might be, depending on their relationship. And I'll say, I don't think that goes very well, and I don't think it's a good idea for the guy. Whether or not it works out for the woman, that's a whole other story. I know a lot about that from all of the Thai women that I know here, but that's a video for another day. My central focus with this channel is to try to help a guy looking to settle down, because when I went through all this, it was, I made a lot of mistakes. I made almost every mistake you could. And what really did not help me was the lack of real, actual, true information on YouTube and the internet in general. I found all this, what I thought was information at the time as I was preparing my retirement here, and the majority of it was incorrect, and a lot of it was 180 degrees incorrect. I received terrible advice. So I try to make this very real. So flirting. So what's the big deal? Hey, Rob, flirting isn't so hard. You go up there and you go, hey, baby, what's going on? Well, here it's different. And I'll say the first step would be, let's start with recognizing a flirt. Because when I'm with other Western guys, which isn't very often, but it's something I do, but a jam. It's something I do regularly. And I don't know that I've ever once seen one of my Western friends or some guy in a group I was talking with or hanging out with. I can't say that I recall, and I'm pretty sure no one ever has noticed one flirt from one Thai woman. That's a terrible record, but and that's kind of crazy to say, but I believe that's true. And so how could that be true? Rob, gee whiz, how the heck could that be true? What's going on over there? So flirting here is very different than in the West. For me, now this is going to be my bias. I'm going to lay that out up front. I've always been a guy, even like in high school, I kind of let the lady make the first move. I'm apparently a relationship guy, because I've had a woman in my life pretty much constantly since I was 16 and a half, and I had access to a car. Once I had access to a car, it was game on, baby. So a cars. Get one. Good thing. Here it's the same thing. I let the women come to me. I found that was better. But the way they come to you is very subtle in Thai culture. The Thai women are more forward than maybe possibly from what I hear from my friend that lives in Vietnam. Maybe they're more forward than Vietnamese women or something like that. They probably are. But dang, they are way less forward than a lot of American women. So a good, again, my whole channel is about a good Thai woman. That's really what you want, in my opinion. That's I found the best play. All of my friends, every one of my friends who is successfully married to a woman that I think is greatly enhancing their life, let me check, every single one is a woman from the Isan region. So take that for whatever you want, but I'd give it some consideration if I were you. And then, so the flirting. So it's eye contact. So in Thailand, you'll notice that, now there will be exceptions where, and I get this all the time. I've started referring to my motorcycle as the Starship because that's what it is out here. It's so insane. Hey, I'm living my life. I'm doing my thing. It was my dream motorcycle. Wanted this for 20 years, and I love it. You can see how much fun I'm having, but it attracts a lot of attention. And me being a senior, obvious senior age Western man with blue eyes and blonde hair, and I'm not overweight. In fact, I'm kind of rather muscular. I've got kind of an odd appearance. Sometimes people will be staring when I'm walking somewhere with Fawn, and I'll go, why is everybody staring at me? And she'll go, they've never seen a foreigner that looks like you. And we're not, Rob's claiming, what a bragger. He's claiming he's the only man who's in shape in Thailand. Obviously not. But around here, every other foreigner I've ever met has at least 100 pounds on me. At least. So other than people staring, and I've had men staring because they're just befuddled at my appearance of who is this weird guy. At my wedding, I had two tables of my friends. I had my dear friend, Kru Usani, my language teacher that I've known for, I think, over 5.5 years. Yeah. And I had, I'm not going to name anybody, but I had a short handful of just my close friends here in Thailand. I will say Kevin, because Kevin's in the bonus content from time to time. Kevin flew in from Vietnam with his Vietnamese wife, a lovely young lady. And then at the end of the wedding, or a day or two after, Fawn shared a comment with me. She said she had just a ton of comments from the overwhelming majority of the guests were very surprised at my friends that attended the wedding, because none of them were, and I take pride in this, were what they call the typical Falang, the average foreigner here. She said that everybody was dressed nice, everybody was polite and respectful and quiet, and none of them were drunk, and they just couldn't believe it. So this is our reputation. This is what it is. And that's their reaction. So if you can differentiate yourself from the average foreigner, you're way better off as the flirting starts, is one point. And then the second point is, if you don't look like the typical foreigner, then you will get some staring. So if you're a more average looking foreign guy, I get it. Like, I was overweight my entire life. I am not unsympathetic. Okay. And I got lucky, and I dropped 50 pounds right before I got here. Like, literally 1 year before I came to Thailand, I lost a pound a week for a year. It was just, could not have been better timed. One of the luckier things that's ever happened to me in my life, to be honest. So back to this flirting. So other than some staring, okay, then generally eye contact's not a thing here. You will find that people don't, and I'm not a big eye contact guy. I find that very personal. And so it kind of works for me here. But what you'll find is like a good Thai woman who is taken or not interested in you. She will not make eye contact with you. You could set your hair on fire and do jazz hands in front of her face, and she will find a way to be conveniently looking elsewhere. And if they're not interested in you, and this also can be in some cases if they don't respect you or don't like you, that one's really hard to tell the difference, to be honest. I can't help you on, but then they also won't look at you, and they won't say your name because you're not worthy of it. But that's a whole other kettle of fish. But However, when a woman is interested in you, she will lock eyes with you because you might be looking at, she's a pretty lady. I look at, here looking at a pretty lady is not considered low class or a bad thing. That's called a nang du sao. Sit and look at ladies. You might notice a pretty lady and she's walking by you or in front of you. And if she's interested, she will turn. Oh, forgive me, I touched the mic. She will turn her head and she will lock eyes with you for like 1.5, 2, 3, maybe 4, 5. I had one almost 10 seconds, which is really, that's like, beam me up, She really was super interested and she wanted to make her intention clear. And that's it. That's all they'll do. I was sitting in a cafe about a year ago, and Amazon Cafe. It's like the Starbucks here, which is like half the price and twice as tasty, in my opinion. And I was just sitting there sipping a coffee. In fact, I'd ordered a second coffee for Fawn, my wife now, I will say, to take home and bring her coffee. And this woman was just giving me, they call it a bing ping. She's just locking eyes and just staring at me. And she was they'll kind of wobble their head a little bit maybe to make sure you're noticing them, but they won't do it too much because to do it too much is to kind of lose face and look desperate and all that. But she would not stop. She was really interested. You need to look for that. So I see this happening all the time. For example, I live out in an area where there's not a lot of optionality for a lot of the women. Once they're ineligible to date an eligible Thai man, which I have a whole video on that, but once they're out of that, over 30 and other factors, then crazy, over 30 and they're done here. It's a rough culture for the ladies, which gives us guys an opportunity if we don't screw it up, which is unfortunate most of us do. But they will be interested in a Western guy because then we can be a husband for them. And life is hard on the ladies, as I've said many times. They work hard. They support their parents. They're the sole caregivers and sole money providers to the kids. The Thai man's generally free to take his money and spend it on a motorcycle and whiskey and cigarettes and whatnot. I mean, now that'll vary by the class and standard, and I got to do a video on class in Thailand. In fact, that might be the next video I do. I've been thinking about it. That's a tough one. But commonly, these are common things. I can't say always, but they're common, okay? And so the first thing is you got to pay attention and you got to look for these. And then if that happens, all you got to do is just talk to them and say, hey, do you speak any English? Or I speak a tiny bit of Thai, or what's your name? Or, and things. And just don't try to be smooth or cool. Just talk to her a little bit. And basically all you're trying to do is get her line ID, or if she doesn't have line, which 99% of the people here do, but then she has WhatsApp. And it's either line or WhatsApp, and then or the Facebook Messenger. You could use that. That's kind of nice because it ties to a social media account that you can see, even though it might be a fake one. But at least it's a starting point. In a tourist area, your dating pay grade just plummets. Like if I go to Pattaya, I'm chopped liver. Nobody looks at me. I get no bing pings. I get no interest. I get and Fawn loves to ask me, you get any bing pings today? And I always pretend to be disappointed. I'll say, oh no, and we'll laugh and joke about it, And if I go to Khon Kaen, my pay grade is significantly down from here in Korat. Korat's considered a little more remote, less Western populated city than, say, Khon Kaen, even though Khon Kaen is further out into the Isan region, just the way it works. In Khon Kaen, I've got much less pay grade. Here in the city, I have a decent pay grade. When I go out of the city where I live, my pay grade goes up. Now, where I live, my pay grade's quite high. And when I've gone a half hour north into the jungle, 20, 30 minutes north into the jungle, where I've done some gym training, there's a real Rocky IV level, super rustic, crazy gym with some absolute animals training in there, some real killers, which I don't qualify. I got mobbed by two extremely pretty and really, for me, below an age level I'd be comfortable dating if I even were single. And I was engaged to Fawn at the time. They knew I was engaged to Fawn at the time, and they did not care. So it's kind of like guys. We tend to date for romance and excitement and compassion and companionship and all this and that, because we have the money. So we're not thinking about money. We're thinking about fun and care and enhancing our life with this, where a lot of women, and I'll tell you particularly Thai woman who is going to be just generally speaking have just massively less than you do financially. They're thinking of the economic opportunity first. Now, a good Isan Thai woman, for example, that's an obvious fact. That's like saying I'm standing here breathing air. Yeah, that's okay. They're looking at that, but they won't take advantage. They won't lie because let me check that. Oh yeah, that's wrong. That's wrong. And stealing, also wrong if you weren't sure. They might be desperate for money. I have Thai friends who are food insecure that I give money to, which I tell Fawn about, but I give money to, just I feel so bad for them. And one person, I won't out them here, but they consistently do little favors and nice things for me, which Fawn is aware of. It's a lady who's married, and I'm friends with the husband and the woman, and I'm kind of an uncle to the two boys they care for, which aren't their own, but they care for them like they're their own. When they don't have the money to do that, yet they still do it. I mean, dang, these are good people. And they won't let me pay for anything they do for me. They won't take my money, so I give them food, and then when no one's looking, and I tell Fawn, because giving money to a woman's a big no-no here, but Fawn trusts me apparently enough, but I slip her some money when no one's looking. And to me, it's just the right thing to do, and I can't let her help me with her labor and effort, or her husband's labor and effort, and while they're literally food insecure, this is just a no-go for me, so that's a good example of someone who's really could use the money but won't take it, and that's a good person. So that's what you want, and they'll flirt like this with the bing ping, and that's all they'll do. I had a woman where I regularly go to this one gym I've been at about a year and a half, and I switched gyms about a year and a half ago, I think. And one time she kept talking to me, a little overly friendly. She got on my radar. I thought she was maybe having a little inappropriate interest. Everybody there knows I was engaged to and then married Fawn, and everybody knows her. Everybody knows that's not appropriate. She kind of didn't care. And then one time she touched my arm as she was walking by, and touching us, it's just man, that is super inappropriate here. This is a reserved culture. PDA, married couples don't kiss, often don't kiss ever. Kissing's not a big thing here, by the way. They know we like it, but they kiss by inhaling through the nose, pressing their face to your face and inhaling through their nose. That's a Thai, by the way, that's a Thai kiss. It's almost like an Eskimo kiss. Isn't that interesting? Anyways, but they will do it because they know we like it. But she touched me, and I was like, whoa, man, I didn't react. I just ignored it. And when I was, all right, she's escalating. And then somebody must have said something to her, because she hasn't looked at me since. She stopped dead cold. I'd bet you money. I've got lady friends there at the gym, and I'll bet you one of them said something to her. I'll bet you somebody did. But these would be great opportunities for a single guy. So here I am, a 62-year-old guy of moderate, maybe slightly below moderate health, and I lost some weight and cleaned myself up, but gee whiz, I'm no movie star. And look at the attention I get. It's crazy. But out here, where my pay grade's really high, and I know how the flirting works here. I speak Thai at a pretty good level, read and write Thai. I understand the culture. I've been studying culture alongside the language for 5.5 years, so I get the culture, and I know exactly what they're doing with their eyes when they're wanting me to ask them out, or ask for their line ID, or go meet them for coffee. I had 2 women want to jump on my motorcycle just in the last few months. Fawn was really mad at that last one. I was like, she's not getting on, It was like I had the last life raft getting off the Titanic, and they wanted on. This all will be the same for you. And I'm only 5'9", and height's a big thing here too, by the way. A lot of Westerners are taller than me, Back home, I'm barely medium height. Here, I'm quite tall, but a lot of my Western friends all of my Western friends are my height or taller. I got, if you're 6 foot, 6'2", because it's height. Everything is about height here. And who's higher than who. When they talk about wealth and status, they talk about higher. And if you're literally higher, someone's gonna say, well, Rob, no, literally that isn't true. Yeah, I get it's literally not, but it's there. and it's a strong tailwind. And so if you're on the tall side, you've got a big advantage, and you're easier to see. I mean, I'm the tallest person in line at 7-Eleven practically every time I go. That's an advantage for you. If you stay away from the bars and the tourist areas, I mean, when you come here, go there first. Don't go to the bars, for God's sake, don't do that. But go to the tourist areas so it's less culture shock for you. Get your training wheels on. Spend 6 to 12 months there. Figure out where it is you want to start looking for a spot to settle in somewhere, and then go look around and find your spot. Find your mountain, beach, quiet spot, river spot, whatever the heck, rice fields where I live, if you really like it quiet, find your spot and then settle in. That's what I would say. And then you'll be at a very high pay grade. I mean, if you go, the more Isan you go, which is the northeastern part of the country of Thailand, I'm about an hour and a half into the Isan region, which is just a little, the Isan region's huge. I can drive another, what is it, 6-7 hours before I hit the border or something. It's quite a ways. The further in you go, and as long as you're outside of any major cities, like Khon Kaen is further in, but it's a big major city, so my pay grade goes down. But anywhere else, your pay grade's up, and it's quieter, and you run into less foreigners. And once you get past all the dating and the babes and dating and girls and going out and all that, and you settle in with somebody, which is risky. But once that risk has hopefully settled and you've navigated it properly, and you're not being scammed or being set up for a long-term con or anything like that, as long as you've successfully navigated all that, then your next risk, your big risk, really is from other Westerners. It's the other guys here that'll F you over. They'll F you over for a bar tab. They'll mooch off you if you don't buy them a drink. They'll just badmouth you the whole time. Which you don't care what other people think, and I don't either. Believe me, I'm good at that. I got 3 inches of lead for skin, let me tell you. But no one says, "Geez, I hope a whole bunch of people tomorrow start badmouthing me." No one says that. I mean, and then people will make a campaign out of it. I've seen that here, not against me. One person did do that against me, but they'll make a campaign about it, and then you could lose friends and stuff over it, which that you might care about. So it'll just get weird. The foreign guys here, a lot of people come here with enormous amounts of personal problems, and they will be only too happy to take them out on you. If you don't have a whole lot of personal problems, they're not going to like that. That's how jealousy works, and they're going to be angry. And the correct word is angry, not upset, angry at you because you don't have all the problems they have. And they'll want to take it out on you. That's just how human nature works, unfortunately. That's kind of flirting. So it's subtle, and your results will vary drastically by the geographic location of where this occurs. Oh, and then I should tell you, if the woman is really young and pretty, she's not flirting with you to be a boyfriend or a future husband or something. She's flirting because she wants to geek with you or me annoy. A geek is a mistress, a secret mistress. Geek culture here is a big deal. A successful Thai man will typically have a geek or two, a woman or two, with a co-worker. A woman he stops and sees at the convenience store on the way home. It'll all be things proximate to their life. They like this proximity thing. Thais are kind of proximate culture people. They won't generally drive. They will sometimes, but not the majority of them don't drive 2 provinces over and go find a girlfriend. I mean, the secret mistress is somebody right in their deal. It's like the guy having an affair with the secretary. That's the classic geek thing here. And then a mia noi is a paid salaried mistress that's just waiting on you. And and you think that's great, and that's all fine and all. The mia noi's her goal is to get 5 or 10 of you and make a nice living. So careful who you're sharing whom with. And so the really young and pretty ones, they're looking to do that, or hit you up in a scam, get you into a scam, and then hit you up for money, turn down money for the first few times to get you think they're honest, and then all of a sudden their buffalo is sick and it's got to go to the hospital. And I'm kidding, that's an old joke here, and but it's funny, and they'll do so. The bing thing that you want is from a lady that's a little more appropriate. So if you're 60, I would say stay 45 and up. The women really calm down over 45 and 50. Not that there's not a ton of scammers at 60, because I know a handful, and they're evil. By that point, they've been a scammer like for decades already. Man, their heart's so black, I couldn't tell you. It's people. I've had guys, oh man, she's 60, she can't be a scammer, she's too old. Yeah, she's a scammer with a lifetime of experience, and she's pointing her new super weapon right at you. Yeah, they're like the Death Star of scamming. Real bad, real bad, real ugly. I've seen a couple guys go down hard with that, like hard. One guy had to get, he got cleaned out so bad he qualified for a free plane ticket home to Australia. He got somehow, there's some service where the Australian embassy will send money or a ticket or whatever, and then just get you home, and they can get on the welfare or whatever they have over there. I don't know, but and he's going to need permanent physical assistance. He's permanently disabled from the physical beating he took after his scam was done. I knew the guy too. Sad story. That just happened. Real ugly. Everybody in his village was talking about it. I was sitting there, and all the people talking this, and the guy's name was the same as mine. I asked Fawn. She goes, no, it's different, Robert. And I'm like, oh, okay. And the ugly story. So flirting is all those things. Be good, be safe. I'll add more notes into this, and I'll make sure I got everything in here I need for you. Thanks. Garuna tot rong tao. Take off your shoes, please. So here's just a little slideshow. There's my humidor and photos of my daughter on the left and right, and my son above. I sent that picture to my daughter. She liked it. There's a little smoking side table that I had made. I've got the legs being welded up for it now. There's my garden, just about all done. And here's at the local Full Moon Festival. A couple of guys, one I know, I really like him, wanted to take a photo with me. So I took a copy, and beautiful picture of Fawn and the moon that night. Both were equally beautiful. And here's a shot of Fawn from our wedding. What a beauty. Really pretty bride. I'm a lucky guy. There's another photo we pre-took kind of there. There's a shot of me doing my best James Bond or something. I don't know what I'm doing there. And then there I am with the famous Kevin and his wife, and then Fawn and a member of her family. And there's the famous Kevin again. And here's Coon Paw's rice harvest. There's the Rokgyo, the harvesting machine. Kind of a crazy Rube Goldberg kind of a thing, aren't they? I think they're 3 or 4 million baht. They're kind of a big icon here in Thailand. He has 15 rice farms, 2 or 3 of which are right across from me, and I enjoy watching him work those. From time to time, I'll offer him a tea or something. There's a part of the family all gathering around to see the big... Bon mia mia tiang.
ไม่ได้เถียง
Tiang.
ไม่ได้เถียง
In my top 10. Any day, winter in Thailand. Temperature's awesome though, but no motorcycle today. Definitely no motorcycle. I don't look how cold it is. And I'm chilly. Ordered coffee today. That's why I thought of it. I got the Pun Thai coffee, and I felt kind of bad because one lady was not understanding my speaking, which kind of, it sort of hurts my feelings in a way. Like I feel like I just need to be speaking better. I just, and I'm not mad at them. I'm like, why can't I do this better? And then I bring the coffee for me and Fawn back to the car because she was waiting in the car because it's raining and cold, and Thais don't tolerate cold well. And she looks at the glass, the cup that her coffee is in. She goes, "Dang it, those people never understand my order." And I felt a lot better. It is a vague language. Thai truly is vague, and definitely that's something I'm going to keep in mind. Thank you for watching my YouTube video. If you've watched this far, please consider hitting like and subscribe.